you're reading a proposal and your team is excited about. It makes sense. The numbers work. The opportunity fits where the market is moving. Then someone says, that's not really who we are. The room gets quiet. No one argues. The proposal doesn't disappear. It simply loses momentum. Everyone moves to the next agenda item. Nothing feels dramatic. No one announces that a decision was made, but something has already shifted. The business is no longer evaluating what is possible. It is protecting what it has already become known for. And there was a time when that reputation was earned. It represented discipline. It represented consistency. It created trust. People knew what to expect. And because of that, the business grew. Then responsibility changed. The market changed. Customers began asking different questions. The organization became capable of things that it could not do before. New opportunities arrived. Not because the business abandoned its strength, because it had developed new ones. But something stayed the same. The operating assumption. People know us for this. We've always done it this way. That's outside of our lane. I don't want to confuse the market. Now, none of those sentences sound irrational. They sound responsible. They sound protective. They sound like stewardship. It begins showing up in familiar places. A partnership is discussed that then quietly dismissed. A new service is explored, then postponed. A talented leader suggests a different direction, and the room becomes cautious. Not because the idea lacks merit, because the reputation carries more authority than the evidence in the front of the room. The hidden cost accumulates. The organization starts making decisions that protected yesterday's credibility instead of evaluating tomorrow's reality. The business continues succeeding, but its definition of itself stops moving. And eventually, people began managing the reputation more carefully than the future. The decision enters the room quietly. It no longer asks, can we do this? It asks, who are we afraid of no longer being? What opportunity have you quietly stopped evaluating because it no longer fits the reputation that made you successful? If the conversation continued after everyone else left, no one would begin talking about branding. They would talk about hesitation. We keep circling the same opportunities. The market is changing faster than we are. we're still introducing ourselves the same way we did 5 years ago. Someone would admit, I'm not sure if our competitors see us the same way we still see ourselves. Another will quietly say, the team keep bringing ideas that don't survive the room. Not because they're weak, because they don't sound familiar. There'll be conversations about customers. Some are asking for something the business can already provide, but the organization still responds from an older identity. There will be conversations about talent. People hired to build the future work inside assumptions built for the past. There will be conversations about growth. Not growth that stopped. Growth that kept happening. Growth that kept happening while the story of the organization tells about itself stayed the same. No one will call this fear. They will call it consistency. They will call it protecting the brand. They will call it staying focused. Every explanation would sound reasonable. That's why the pattern survives. The organization keeps functioning. The numbers may even keep improving. But more and more decisions begin surviving yesterday's identity instead of tomorrow's responsibility. Nothing has to change right now. No announcement needs to be made. No new direction has to be chosen. Just notice which conversations become quieter. Just notice which conversations become quieter the moment they challenge who the organization has become known for. Notice what gets protected. Notice what gets postponed. Notice whether the reputation that once created freedom has quietly started deciding what the future is allowed to become.